Hello everyone, how you doing? Windybeard here. This is vlog number 3 of the updates that I've been doing weekly. Right, so this week I've been mostly working on GO2, now that Ragtag is released. Full steam ahead on the next game. Time waits for no fool. So I've been working mostly on two sides of GO2. I've been working on the actual drilling mechanics. For those who didn't play GO1, a little bit of information just so you know what I'm banging on about. GO is a game in which you have a drill, you drill a planet, you gather materials, cash, money, stuff like that, items. You make your way down to the core, you hit the core, you get super currency. You can use the super currency, in this case core fragments, to upgrade your headquarters, buy new crew members, buy new rooms for your headquarters and stuff like that. So you get stronger and stronger and stronger, and you can drill bigger and bigger planets. That's the basic gameplay loop of Geo. So with GO2, some stuff is there that's the same as GO1, similar concepts. There are some new stuff. It's going to be interesting. So that's the basic idea of GO2. So I've been working on the drilling system. It's a lot more complicated than GO1 in the way that the planets are procedurally generated. In GO1, every block was the same size, and they ran in rows, and a specific number of rows to the core. Okay, and I think it was a row of blocks was 16 or something like that. Whereas in GO2, the blocks are of different sizes, so they come in 4 sizes: little ones, medium ones, big ones, and massive ones. They all have different values and things like that, and they're all laid out randomly, so you get this interesting pattern of blocks and gaps and things like that. And I've put in a cave system that creates complex and randomized cave systems. That's quite cool. And I'm going to fill those caves with like fireflies and glowing mushrooms and all this other awesome stuff. And yeah, so I've been working on that, got that all working. I've got the system working down to the core, so the screen is set by how many rows the planet is, things like that. So that'll allow me to feed in information when you select the planet, and then the planet will be created based on, information that is passed. So that's coming along real nice. There's still a lot to do there, and as it is the core gameplay of Geo, it will need a lot of my attention. I've also been working on the Courtroom system. So the Courtroom is essentially a perk/skill tree, as you would get in an RPG or an action RPG or something like that. And it's a series of buffs, basically, from start to finish. The way it's going to work in GO2 is there will be five skill trees. So there's 5 drills in the game. That's an initial number. It could change. And each drill has a skill tree. So you can upgrade each drill. But there will be perks throughout each skill tree that give you overall stat boosts. So it is worth, jumping between drills and upgrading and things like that. So it should be interesting. I've created the back office system for it, if you will. So the database creation, where the nodes go for the Courtrium, and I can put stats in, take them out, and all this. So that's working. It still needs a bit of work, but it's quite far along actually. And last night I started working on the actual visuals of it, which is the very first finished visuals that I've started working on for GO2, the very first assets, if you will. And that's where it gets complicated, because I decided to jump in and do that on the Courtroom system, which is mostly UI. So I've had to do some UI concepts, colors, testing, see because the UI is going to be consistent throughout the whole game. So whatever I pick, I need to be sure that I'm happy with it. So things could change, but I come up with something that I'm happy with. It's going to be a lot more colourful than GO1. I think that's what I like in video games, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's GO2 pretty much at this point. Going into next week, I'll probably put a lot more work into the Courtrium and the drilling, try and get those done. And I may start work on some other tooling systems. So I'm going to have to do a database for the materials and things like that. So how much health and cash each block is worth, and then work in a pressure system and all these other things. So I've got a lot of work to do there, but I'm chiseling away and I'm having a good time. I'm really enjoying working on this game. Good memories, really, from working on GO1. Interesting time when I was working on GO1. For those of you who don't know, I was actually a police officer / detective, and I was making GO while I was in that job, and I finished GO off when I left that job. So GO was sort of my step into full-time indie development. It sort of straddled both of my lives. So it's sort of a special game to me, It was sort of a marking of my career as a game developer, and I'm quite pleased with that. So it's nice to work on it again, or on the second one, and it's got some really cool ideas, some interesting concepts coming in. It's going to be a lot bigger than GO1. GO1 was a big game, So that's going to be interesting to try and balance and handle. But I think it'll be fun to play, and I think it'll be fun to make. So that's always a bonus. What else? Ragtag. So Ragtag's still out, still available, and probably will be forever. And that's ticking along nicely. You know, there's the endless indie struggle that seems to be the case. You know, I speak to a lot of developers, and I think the business for an indie developer, you hear a lot of talk about day one sales and all this. And I don't know how I feel about that. I think for most indies, it's a slow burn and a back catalogue that keeps you in business, you know? If you make decent games and you have a good list of games, then you can earn money. If you don't have huge overheads and don't have a massive cash investment into you don't have to make X amount on day one, then the long tail is what you're after. So I think that's what will happen with Ragtag. It's happened with all my other games. You know, you get a nice little chunk at the beginning and then it tapers off and the slow tail comes in, and that's how you do your business. So I'm quite pleased with it. Trying to market it as best I can. I've reached out to people, still scraping through the endless requests for free keys from fake websites. Some of them real, some of them not, and it's a lot of time put into trying to figure out who's trying to rob me and who isn't. You know, it's quite difficult. So that's Ragtag pretty much. So GO2's on its way. Ragtag is out now, so check it out on Steam or on itch. That's another thing. I put Ragtag up and Puzzle Plunder, actually. Puzzle Plunder's a free game I made last year. They're both available on itch as well now, so I'm testing out itch.io, see how that pans out. I'm not expecting anything special, to be perfectly honest. But it was worth a punt. And it is really good, actually. Their website's awesome. It allows you to make some really nice-looking storefronts, which is a nice change. Steam is quite restrictive. You don't have much say in how your shop looks. You can put in a few screenshots of video and some text, maybe some images in your text, but you don't have a say over anything else, you know. And that's a nice change, setting up the storefront on itch. So if you want to check me out on there, check out my games. Ragtag and Puzzle Plunder are on there. Also, I grabbed a ticket for Insomnia at the NEC. So that's a big game show. That's on the 19th of April, Friday, I believe. So I'll be heading down there with a few other mates I've made along the way, other streamers and friends from Twitch and stuff like that. So that should be a laugh. If anyone's around, if any other developers are knocking about, then say hello, or I'll come say hello. That's it from me. So that's basically my week. Lots of hours put in, actually. I often get like this. I have swings of focus. At the moment, I could work 23 hours a day quite happily, but in a few months' time, I'll be struggling to do 8, you know. But while it's here, I will take advantage of it, and I will be working my socks off on GO2. I've got a good feeling about this one, guys. Famous last words, eh? So yeah, check me out on Twitch. I stream pretty much every day on Twitch the work of GO2 and whatever else I'm doing, so check me out there. And that's your lot from me. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like and smash that sub button. Yeah? All right then. Well, I'll catch you all next week. And again, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for listening. See you later.